Well, good morning, folks. Welcome to another episode of Papa Key's Kitchen. Well, today I thought I'd put together some venison sausage goulash. Yep, that's what we're going to be working on. The first thing I got to do is probably saute these vegetables that I'm going to use into it. You know, my measuring is just what pleases me. You add whatever seasoning and amounts that you want that you like the taste of. So don't you often use measuring cups, but that's because I've been doing it so long. I just pretty much know what I'm going to put in there. We'll start off with some of this oil here. Guess it helped if we turned on the heat. Now I got about 4 or 5 cloves of that garlic. Put that in there. Got about 2.5 cups of peppers. I went out in the garden and picked these this morning. Every time I pick some, I cook something with them. So, oh yeah, this is gonna be delicious. I like the goulash. I picked an onion. There's probably a 1.5 cups of them. Like a lot of veggies in my goulash. These are store-bought hot peppers. Tried growing some this year, but they didn't come out very good, so. Our season up here is a little funny. You know, you get up into these mountains, you never know what you're going to get. You can get frost in June and July sometimes. And a bunch of these mushrooms. I happen to have some celery on hand, and I thought I'd use it up. But you know, it doesn't last very long. We'll put that all in there. There. Get this all out of the way. Let that heat up and start cooking down. Of course, these will also simmer in my sauce, which I've got the base of it made there. I haven't added the seasonings to it yet, but we'll do that next. Swirl these around a little bit. Now I'm going to add some black pepper to this. Dash of salt. There, got that done. And we'll let this get the temperature. Put that there, and we'll move you back here a ways if I don't drop this phone again. Heading better, what, $1,200–1,300 for one of them damn things. I don't think I only get a phone call a month on it. Everybody else is turned off. I just have the ones in my playlist, and if they're not there, it doesn't ring. Okay, so here's the sauce. Special sauce. So I'm going to add some tomatoes in there. Some of these diced tomatoes is about, what's that, 29 ounces, 30 ounces. We'll throw that in there. I'm going to add a bit of Italian seasoning to it. I'm kind of generous with some of this because I like Italian seasoning. Add some powdered garlic. Oh yeah, garlicky. That's what we want. Spread it around in there. Next, we're going to put in some red pepper. Give it some kick. I don't know, it's probably 1.5 tablespoons there. And I do like curry powder. Yep. We're going to get some of that in there. And of course, most of you know that I like cumin, so I use that a lot. Costs a lot of money to buy these seasonings. I don't know if you have a lot of them or not, but the way I cook all the time takes a lot. I'm going to add some chili into this. Give it a little bit of a chili taste. And I'm going to add some pork sausage seasoning to it. Make sure it's got that sausage flavor to it. It's about a tablespoon. She's sizzling over there. I like these mustard seeds. Anything you don't like, leave it out. And last but not least, my basil. Oh yeah. Put the basil to her. We got that done. I'm going to mix this in so it's all mixed up in good shape. Now I'm going to let this simmer for a while. You might have to add a dab of water to it if it gets too tight. Get that all mixed in. By simmering these things, it kind of brings out the flavors a little bit more, in my opinion anyway. I'm going to throw that on there and turn on the back burner. I guess it's about on number 7, that ought to do it. Put these out of the way. I've got a big spice rack and I still don't have enough room. A lot of baking spices here too. It gets towards the holidays. I like to bake cakes, make chocolate, Reese's Pieces, all that good stuff. Most of you that watch my videos know that I make a lot of baked goods in the winter time. Which everybody that invites me, they invite me because they know I'm going to make homemade pies for their holiday festivities. There. Bring it closer to this. Whip her down a little bit. Get my stirry thingy. Oh, those look good. Yes, sirree. Sauteed in these also brings out the flavor and everything. It's what makes it delicious. Little mushrooms. My mycelium hasn't come in yet, so like UPS people say it's somewhere in delivery for the last 2 weeks. I need the mycelium to inject my substrates to make some mushrooms. If I don't hear from them in another week or so, I'll just order some from a different company. Much easier buying the mycelium than it is trying to make your own. I think it costs about $14, but I can inject about 4 or 5 bags of substrate for that. There's always 1 or 2 that, because the bacteria gets into it, don't survive. So I buy those Uncle Ben's pre-cooked rice, and those are very sanitary, and wipe them all down and inject it with mycelium. By golly, you're going to end up with some of them growing. And later on, you transplant it into your soil or whatever you're using. All right. There's already a few bubbles coming over there from my tomato sauce. I don't want it too hot. I'm going to turn it down to closer to a simmer. But I think I'll add some water to that now because it looks pretty thick. We'll add about a cup of water, and that cup of water will dissipate, so we'll be right back to the same size when we get around to it. We're getting there. With cooking, you gotta have a lot of patience, you know. Somebody says, why don't you do live shows? But you got so much waiting time in between processes that it'd be pretty hard to do a video that way. So, besides that, if I make a mistake, I can hide it and then you won't be able to see it, right? My knee gave out back in the middle of June, so I haven't been out as much. Say I probably have to have a knee replacement, but I'm putting it off until cold weather, because I want to get out there during the fall foliage, do some of my videos out there, and I don't want to be laid up. My old creaky bones are starting to fade out. But I'll fight back as long as I can. Oh. Don't those look great? I like this frying pan because it's got really high sides on it. It's like a half a wok. Wok, whatever those things are. I had one of those once, but I don't know where it is. Alright, I'm going to put that on the back burner. Now I want to grab me another fry pan. Which I have right here. We've got ourselves what you call a fry pan. Yep. I used to have a whole set of them old cast iron ones that my mom had. I liked cooking in those. Those are gone too. I don't know where they ended up. If I hadn't got divorced so many times, I probably could have kept track of my stuff. But now I've been single for about 18 years, and I said I had enough of buying houses for other people. So, single I'll stay. Unless somebody out there's got a nice boat. If you do, send me a picture of it. All right. Now, let's get this. This is actually a maple sausage, which is kind of unique. Being from Vermont pure syrup. This is venison. Is came from my son that got a deer last year. He had it processed. And made some of this maple venison sausage. And I think it's going to be yummy. Notice how the venison meat's usually a little darker than your store-bought meat, but you know when you buy store-bought meat, they always used to stick this chemicals on it to make it look red, because they didn't want to see any brown on it. The meat weren't spoiled or nothing, just it wasn't the pretty thing to look at, so they come up with a way to make it look red all the time. So you think it's red and fresh, you got another thing coming. It might be fresh enough, but if they hadn't put that stuff in it, it would have turned brown just like this. We used to preserve our meat back in the 50s. My dad would, in the winter, cut ice blocks. You store them in the barn, cover them up with sawdust, and if you got a deer or butchered something, you take and put it into that packed ice. You cover it, and that would keep it all summer long. And we never got sick from it. We always ate it. But back then they only had these little tiny refrigerators, and on top of them they had this noisy old motor that used to make enough noise to drive you crazy at night. Listen to it. And that ice box on the top was only probably about that big. Well, you couldn't even put in a popsicle in that darn thing, let alone food. But it was new technology anyway to us, having your own refrigerator. A lot of people used to take their meat to a community locker, and they charge you so much a month to keep their meat stored during the summer months or whatever. And you paid rent on it just like you would a mailbox. Yep. We used the one in Cambridge, Vermont, Cambridge Community Locker. I forgot what they charged a month, but it wasn't too much. Alright, I'm going to throw a little pepper on this. Father always loved pepper, and I guess I'd follow it in his footsteps. He put a baked potato on the plate, and by the time he was ready to put the fork on it, it was covered black with pepper. I even put pepper on my popcorn. Try it sometime, you like it. Oh yeah, it just cooked up nice. Now this is going to simmer in the pot so that it'll cook all thoroughly through. So what we're going to do is shift gears here a little bit. And this pot's going to go onto the front. I'll shut that off. I'm going to add these vegetables. Yep. Don't waste any. Get them all out of the pot. Otherwise they'll dry on there, then you will swear when you have to wash this thing. Just non-stick though. Works wonderful. Gets them pretty clean. Clean rag. Good as new. Give this a few stirs, mix her in. Now this is going to go down to medium low. Get her all stirred up in good shape. And now the maple venison sausage. Throw that all in there. Looks pretty mouth-watering, doesn't it? Oh yeah. This will be enough to go me a whole week. Oh, that looks goody. Yeah, siree. All right, well, the only other thing I got left to do after this gets cooked down is to cook my elbow macaroni. And I usually keep that separate from this until I'm ready to use it. Then I add the two together. And then that's how I make my meal. I usually put the elbows in a big gallon food storage bag and take out what I need, then add the sauce to it and heat her up. Yeah, might even eat a biscuit or two with it. I don't know. That sauce looks like it'd be great for dunking. Yeah, maybe some French bread. That would dunk pretty good into this. Oh, well, guess enough of my foolishness, and I'll let this cook down, and I'll probably be back for a minute or two and just show you how she looks by the time I get her all done. That'd be around lunchtime. So you folks all have a great day, and thank you for watching Papa Key's Kitchen. Later. There we have it, folks. That's going to be delicious.